I think I'm pretty lucky. I work in wine and food, and all of my venues are in beautiful, scenic places. And one of them is in the gorgeous southwest. Given this, one of my weekly tasks is to drive from Perth to Yallingup. And that's a journey that has certainly changed in the last 25 years, the road. Many of you will remember stuck on that bridge in Mandurah on Sunday afternoon, and your beautiful weekend has turned into a traffic snarl. It's just one of the traffic snarls that's disappeared when the forest highway entered our lives. Most weeks I leave Perth to head south pretty early, often at 4:30 in the morning, and I can buy petrol at lots of places at 4:30 in the morning, not just one that's 30 kilometres out of the way I want to go. So thankfully, the deregulation of retail has gone way beyond petrol in the last 25 years. And not only do I have a safe, great road to travel on and conveniently located fuel, I can purchase a very drinkable flat white from the petrol station. And that's a pretty different experience to one 25 years ago. And often there is a pink lid on the takeaway cup, reminding me of breast cancer research. These days, every single one of us understands the importance of medical research, and that's certainly come a long way since telethon and appealathon. 25 years ago, we were drinking and loving Lamont series Chardonnay, Mosswood Cabernet, Cape Mentelle, Cullen, Vas Felix, and our love affair with SSB was on its way. Hortons at that time released a fabulous red wine called Jack Man. We're still loving and buying those brands and those wine styles, but now there are hundreds of other wine brands populating Margaret River, Great Southern, Ferguson Valley, Pemberton and Swan Valley. Our chase to emulate the great wines of France with Chardonnay and Cabernet has diversified phenomenally as new entrants have planted Pinot Gris, Viognier, Merlot, Fiano, Mourvedre, Tempranillo, Sangiovese, Malbec. You probably all know that while WA produces only 4% of Australia's wine, it delivers 20% of Australia's premium wine. So we may be parochial, but we know what we're talking about. Our beloved West Australian brands nowadays are competing for our palates and our pockets with Spanish Albarinos and Grenaches, Italian Suavo, Pinot Grigio, Barbarescos and Barberas, and of course New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir. And yes, these days we're drinking French Chablis, Sancerre and Rosé. Mind you, our love of French champagne has never waned, but these days we're drinking lots of Prosecco and Aperol Spritz as well. And of course craft beer. Whatever happened to Emu Export and Swan Lager? Or even Redback, which was a phenomenon in its day. These days we sit in modern, previously unimagined buildings with gorgeous views, drinking IPA and Kolsch while our kids are playing in a playground next door. And to be fair, many of us are drinking less, with designated drivers and dry July entering our vernacular. These days we're eating ocean-farmed Cone Bay barramundi, farmed abalone and tempura whiting way more often than we're eating jewfish and red emperor. We use locally produced canola oil in our fish and chips, and we're eating Malaysian, Korean and Moroccan every night of the week. We love gourmet burgers, ramen, vegan, paleo and wagyu. We're eating farm door brands, Bannister Downs milk, Dorper lamb, Great Southern truffle oil and Torbay asparagus. We're growing finger limes, macadamias and microgreens. Hundreds of acres of avocados produce thousands of tonnes, much of which we eat here and much of which joins our export market. Some days we're eating light and easy, and on other days we're at global icons such as Rockpool and Tim Ho Wan, as well as homegrown ones that we're also proud of like Wildflower, Must and Mary Street Bakery. Our daggy IGAs are groovy now. They have great produce and are open often. In fact, they're open when you need them to be. You can buy heirloom tomatoes as well as iceberg lettuces. You can buy roasted tahini, freekeh, free-range chicken and lemon-infused olive oil, as easily as you can buy cornflakes, granola, frozen peas and house-cooked roast dinners. You can buy organic or not. You can buy freshly squeezed juice and chia, wheat shot and ginger smoothies if you like. You can buy wood-fired sourdough French baguettes direct from France, Turkish flatbread hot from ovens, ciabatta, fig and fennel And of course, you can buy gluten-free. You can buy gyoza, pork buns, and they're as frequent as paninis and rice paper rolls. And we happily eat quinoa and steamed greens with poached eggs as often as we do scrambled eggs bacon with lashings of butter. We eat out for breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, and late, all the time talking, texting, and Instagramming on our personal hand devices. And as for the previously mentioned and much loved coffee, if you don't have an espresso machine in your kitchen, you have a long Mac topped up, a dirty chai latte, an almond milk decaf, extra large, a lactose-free double shot, or you can just have a flat white. When I opened my wine, food to go and sandwich shop on St George's Terrace in the mid-90s, my research told me, actually, just on that, when I opened that shop, I didn't ever think it was a free city rag, Elton. I used to get a bundle of business news dropped off at my shop every week for customers to pick up. And I do want to add my congratulations as the previous speakers to Elton and Mark, because many, many businesses, including media businesses, have come and gone in the last 25 years. And Business News continues to deliver quality journalism and analysis for our town, and went digital with a firewall courageously, way ahead of the media pack. But when I opened my shop on St George's Terrace, my research told me that it was true that more people slept in the hospital and in city hotels than slept in their own bed as inner city residents. And notwithstanding that finally we have got some more hotels, our inner city residential population has more than doubled in 25 years, and we're actually moving to vibrancy after 5 p.m. My food and wine shop was in a predominantly empty and unloved old building at 125 St George's. Now it is the much-loved, fully tenanted facade of Brookfield Plaza, one of the most amazing transformations in our CBD. And liquor licensing has had a revolution since 1994. It took a while, and there was a fierce battle mounted by the incumbents, but common sense prevailed, and locals, business leaders and tourists are forever grateful. To be fair, I still have the odd customer who pokes their head at Bishop's House and says, "Do I need to order a meal if I want to have a glass of wine?" But thankfully, for all our sanity and years of, for me, embarrassed and unsatisfactory explanations to interstate and international visitors, that era is long gone. I know we're not allowed to drink full-strength beer at the footy, but we can enjoy a gin and tonic. In fact, you can choose from 9 or 10 gin brands. You can't just say a gin and tonic. They go, "What type of gin would you like?" You can do that in a smart, quiet small bar or a noisy small bar. And the bar snacks, if you want to eat, are more likely to be Gruyere and honey ham on brioche, sashimi or a wedge of yeasty wood-fired pizza than a mass-produced party pie. Although I know sometimes party pies do the trick. In tourism, our events calendar continues to grow. Sure, there's a few gaps to fill, but it is getting there. And the infrastructure investments, public and private, be it the arena, the stadium, new hotels, the State Theatre, Rottnest Ferries, Scarborough Waterfront, Yagan Square, and a new museum, are fabulous, and they equally improve our quality of life and they entice visitors. It's true, there's rarely advancement without debate in this town, sometimes fiery debate. Roads, marinas, buildings. The Committee for Perth, which I'm involved, produced a lot of great evidence-based reports, and a report which I urge all of you to read if you haven't. It's called What We Thought Would Kill Us. Brain Farmer Freeway, that was one of them. So, the next 25 years, I think we need to be better. We have been continuously improving, and we need to stick with that ethos. I want Perth to be a city where our talented, bright youth want to stay, create and add value, and where global talent chooses Perth to grow their careers and bring up their kids, where we can become the first choice of international students to study and take their first steps into the workforce that needs urgent visa reform right now, where we find a clever and honourable way to recognise and celebrate Noongar people in this town. It's not only what we need to do, it actually makes sound commercial sense. And I believe we need to find a narrative to celebrate and be proud of our strength in mining and resources. We must genuinely commit, which we are, and we've heard about it already today, to diversify our economy and to continue to grow our medical services and modern technology manufacturing. I want the Perth-London direct flight to become an icon, and I want our connection with our Asian neighbours in business and leisure to continue to flourish. And of course, I want to be known and loved for great food and wine that has provenance and is genuinely special and delicious. Congratulations, Business News, and thank you for allowing me to reminisce and to love our future at the same time.